Angel Reese and Kaylin Clark are NCAA women's basketball's two brightest shining stars. On Sunday, April 2nd, Louisiana State University defeated the University of Iowa and won the NCAA Women's College Basketball National Championship, an accomplishment that should be one of the biggest women's sports stories of the year. But all anyone can talk about is what happened in the last few seconds. In those warning moments, LSU star power forward Angel Reese pointed at her ring finger and waved her own hand in front of her face in the direction of Kaylin Clark, the best player on Iowa's team. This is known as the "You Can't See Me" by John Cena. To those familiar with hand gestures in basketball, this was Reese's way of telling Clark that her team won, that LSU would be getting the championship ring, and that Reese herself was unguardable. To those specifically familiar with Clark and women's college basketball this season, the hand wave is a callback to Clark's own dismissal of her previous opponents. So Kaylin Clark was doing this same celebration to her opponents and former opponents, and she did not receive any backlash. You know what I'm saying? And we should call it Blacklash. You know, she didn't receive any backlash because she's not black. So Angel Reese does the same celebration, and she is being condemned in the court of public perception. So everybody's perceiving her as ghetto, nasty, classless. All of these derogatory terms, which makes no sense because Kaylin Clark was celebrating in the same way. Is Kaylin Clark a great player? Yes. Is Angel Reese as good as Kaylin Clark? I don't think so. Can Angel Reese be as good as Kaylin Clark? Yes, she can. But trash talking is a part of any sport, and any player could do it. So there shouldn't have been no issue with what Angel Reese did, but there seems to be a huge issue. Multiple media outlets spoke on this, including the owner and leader of Barstool Sports, Shannon Sharpe, Skip Bayless. Every show on ESPN talked about it. Stephen A. Smith gave his thoughts on it. So I'm going to play a few of those clips and get back into the story.
Funny how Skip, it's funny how America, society sees black and white. White person does the exact same gesture.
Because anytime something happens racially, they come to us. I'm pretty sure white reporters can run up on Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. What do you think?
The moment she did this, and the moment she started pointing at her finger, talking about she's about to get a ring, Twitter went, it started trending, and it went into a haywire. And I was just there to read the comments. I didn't want to see the comments. I'm like, really?
Some people didn't see Reese's actions as scandalous, and her actions didn't happen in a bubble. Her tone ignited criticisms from haters about her lack of class and how Reese, who is black, should have conducted herself in the face of imminent victory. Her detractors would have liked to see her win quietly and politely, without the theatrics. However, this outpouring of concern about how women athletes should behave when they win wasn't nearly as much as an issue when Clark, who is white, was steamrolling, trash talking, and mocking the competition. Curious. So this shows the double standards we have amongst athletes and race in this country, the U.S. There's a double standard in race in almost all facets of society, especially amongst black and white people. Why it's like that is because of our history in this country. People don't realize that slavery was not long ago, that segregation was not that long ago. So there is still a lot of racial undertones in our society, and even in the way we present our media and the perception of people in the media.
Did y'all thing. Congratulations for being the champions. And I'm going to say this. We don't stand with nothing that Dave Portnoy said in any type, shape, forms, or fashion. We're not in agreement with that. We're not in alignment with that in any way. And number two, $1 million worth of game, LLC, is owned by two people. Wallace Peoples and Fernard Rasir. We do not work for Barstool. We have a partnership. We have a licensing deal. 100% ownership is by us. We don't have no bosses. I only got one boss, and that's God. And my wife, whenever that happens, whenever I get married. But other than that, that's how we rock.
You be a boss.
Yeah, you know how that shit. That's how that shit go, cuz. That's how it go. You know, people like Tootie got the control of the money.
Oh, okay.
Well, shut up. Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is, shout out to Angela Reese. You did a great job, young sister. And we're not just gonna stand for that. Like Dave. Like for her to be a classless piece of shit because of basketball, you're wrong about that shit.
And we love you, Dave.
We fuck with you, Dave.
But we fuck with you the long way.
You're totally out of pocket for that. You're wrong for that. For a human being to be a classless piece of shit for sports where it's nothing but trash talking and talk, we're not doing that. We're not going to do that shit. And we're not going to let you do that to ours. We can't go for that shit. We're not going to be having that. But shout out to Angela Reese. You did your thing. Shout out to everybody that was involved, all you women. Played the ball and had a hell of a time. But we need to be talking about something different.
Shout out to Iowa, too. They came up and played hard.
Yeah, they played hard. But shout out to the whole LSU. Y'all did a great job. Congratulations, Queens, on your championship. And it's
If a man did that, he would be called classless, and nobody would be saying anything.
Caitlin Clark is a beast. AP Player of the Year, Steph Curry range. She definitely makes women's basketball very exciting and something that people will look forward to watching more than they ever have before. I feel like she's great for the sport. I have nothing against Caitlin Clark, nor does my company. But there is a double standard in the way people perceived what she did compared to how they perceived what Angel Reese did. And Angel Reese did the exact same thing. I don't know why is this such a big story. It's like once a story catches steam, other media outlets keep posting it, and then now it becomes the topic of discussion for the next week or two. I hope this doesn't overshine what these females did. Honestly, this was one of the best NCAA tournaments in the history of the tournament, period. Like, for women, this is one of the best tournaments they ever had. We finally got to see, we tired of seeing UConn always was dominating those past few years and stuff like that. So now we get to see other teams dominate. We get to see new players, and we're going to see superstars rise like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I feel like this was great for the sport. Where there's good or bad publicity, I feel like it was great for women's college basketball and women's professional basketball as well, because Caitlin Clark will be going to the WNBA, and I feel like she will bring a lot of viewers to the sport. I'll personally buy a ticket to go see her play. You know what I mean? So it makes it great. You know what I mean? Like, we have to get away from focusing on the negative of these situations and just focus on what happened. They lost. Iowa lost. You know what I mean? Caitlin Clark was dominating in the whole tournament. Dominating, killing everybody until she met up with LSU and lost. So it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, trash talking is part of the game. And why when Michael Jordan trash talk, I love it. It's like you can't have these double standards. No matter how bad you think a player is, how good you think a player is, if you think a player deserves a trash talk, it's part of every sport. And it shouldn't take away from what these ladies have accomplished and the amount of entertainment they provided us with throughout the tournament. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Our channels were shut down by Kai Sinai's legal team. That is Kai Sinai's legal team. Our channel was shut down by them, so we are trying to gain our subscribers back. We were at 14,500 subscribers plus, over 6 million plus views. So please just tune in, help us out, help us get back to where we need to be. I have nothing against Kai Sinai or his legal team, just letting you guys know that if you are a person that does YouTube media, do not post Kai Sinai's clips or on YouTube. You know, TikTok, Instagram is okay. But YouTube, he will get your channel shut down if you have too many of his clips, okay?
She instigated this kind of stuff. Let's call it what it is. She was waving. She was doing the Cena. How about what she did to Raven Johnson? She didn't just go into the lane and not guard her against South Carolina in the national semifinal. She waved her off. She didn't mind being disrespectful. So why is it that we're hesitant to bring that up?